Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to part 2 of my Attack on Titan chapter 138 discussion. Before we go any further, I gotta warn you, this video is going to contain spoilers, so if you haven't read it, what are you doing with your life? I imagine enjoying it more than those of us who have read it, but seriously, if you don't want spoilers or to ruin your life, you might want to click on another video. Okay, let's go! In the previous video, we talked a little bit about chapter 137, the twist in that chapter, and about the second terrible twist in this one. We talked a bit about everyone who died, and other things, and my general feelings about the whole thing. If you want to catch up, I definitely recommend watching that video first, and then coming back here. There will be a link in the description. You don't necessarily have to see it to understand what we're going to be talking about here, but it would probably be best if you did. But, you know, it's up to you. Okay, moving on. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the time loop theory a little bit, but mostly we're going to be talking about the multiverse theory, which I'm just going to take credit for because I'm pretty sure I came up with it. I don't know. Maybe somebody else did too, but not to take credit from anybody else who thought about it. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure I invented that shit. Patented. Copyright, bitches. Just kidding. Anyway. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone knows about the time loop theory if you're watching this, and I'm sure everyone's been talking about it lately, and understandably so. This theory has been around forever, and this scene, the "see you later, Aaron" scene, appears to prove this theory true. However, I've never fully subscribed to the whole time loop idea myself. It's an intriguing theory, but I've always leaned more towards the idea of Attack on Titan taking place in a multiverse, of infinite timelines existing all at once and intertwining with each other. The idea that time itself is not linear, nor does it function in a loop, but that everything is actually happening all at once, all the time. The passing of time is nothing more than an illusion. This makes sense to me because Isayama was heavily inspired by Watchmen, which has a sequence where Dr. Manhattan experiences time in this way. I can definitely see the influence of that sequence in this story, if that is the case. I even talked about it in a previous video.
You've got to come back with me! Where? Back to the future!
But the only way I can really wrap my mind around this possibility, around all this time travel stuff, is by applying the multiverse theory. In case you don't know, the theory is basically this. There are infinite universes existing parallel to each other, i.e. parallel universes. You know what those are. They're in like every other science fiction movie or TV show. But anyway, with each differing choice, each chance, each roll of the dice, if you will, a new universe is created in order to accommodate all the different possibilities that could come into existence based on different choices or circumstances, each universe being slightly different than the other. Since this story has an ongoing theme centered around people and the tough choices they have to make, the idea of the concept of parallel realities being a part of Attack on Titan thematically actually makes a lot of sense. With that in mind, we could possibly say that we have an Attack Titan that potentially not only travels through time, but also through universes. That sounds fun. Explanation? Okay, so say each set of varying universes emerges from one base universe, kind of like a tree. Each universe is a branch off of another one, and there's one branch for each different thing that happens. That'd be a lot of branches. Time not only is not linear, but very much like how Dr. Manhattan experiences time in Watchmen, as if everything is happening all at once. But anyway, the idea is that everything in the universe, every possibility that could possibly happen in the entire universe exists all at once, but it's only our experience of it that is linear. That's why Dr. Manhattan experienced time very differently than a regular human, because he was no longer tethered to the limits of human consciousness. So if this multiverse theory is true, then what is going on here? Is Mikasa, through her grief and anguish, slipping into an alternate reality? An alternate version of herself? This also makes me think of the episode of Lost called The Constant, where a character basically time travels not physically, but through his own consciousness, back and forth through time between the past and the future. I also made a video about that. There's a character called Desmond, and he starts having these weird flashbacks of his past, and it's not like, they're not really flashbacks, they're not memories, he's actually going back to the past. His consciousness is traveling backwards in time to his past self. And what happens is he keeps going back and forth, and he forgets who he is in the present day. He starts thinking that he's his past self, so he doesn't have any idea what's going on when he flashes back to the present. And what's interesting too is that when this is happening to Desmond and this other character, they're actually, the worse it gets, they start getting these nosebleeds just like Eren and Kruger do. So I wonder if Isayama was inspired by Lost a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised. So that's the kind of like time travel that I'm thinking about when it comes to what's going on with Eren right now. Like, except Isayama is taking it one step further. So is this like a similar thing that's happening in Attack on Titan, except instead of like Eren going back in time through his own memories or through his own consciousness, he's actually experiencing Kruger's memories and consciousness. And like we saw that panel when he was actually sitting in Kruger's place in the memory. However, in Mikasa's case, she's traveling to her consciousness in another universe, which I think may be in the same state of time as our present reality, if that makes sense. What I'm trying to say is, Eren states he has 4 years left to live in this vision that she has, for lack of a better word, and Eren also has 4 years left to live in quote-unquote real life, again for a lack of a better word, which means she may be visiting herself in an alternate reality during the same exact time that this is happening in our actual reality, seeing exactly where they would be at this very moment in time had she chosen differently. And that's pretty fascinating. Why is this happening though? Does Isayama just want to torture Mikasa? To torture us? Well, yes, of course he does. But in the context of the story, what is actually going on here? Why does Mikasa suddenly have the ability to move her consciousness between dimensions? Of course, it could just be a hallucination or her imagination, but that's boring. So I'm not even going to entertain that nonsense. And you definitely can't ignore the parallels between this and the opening scene of the manga. It's clear they are definitely connected. The moment when she says, "See you later, Eren," this is the same moment we see in the beginning of the manga. That is certainly what the imagery seems to be suggesting, anyway. Additionally, this moment is definitely connected to Eren's death in the present reality. At least that's the impression that I got. This was both the moment Eren passed away in this alternate universe after the 4 years were up, and the moment Mikasa cut off his head. And yes, while I suggested earlier that these moments were happening in the same time in 2 different universes before, remember, if my theory is correct, time isn't linear in this story. It's all over the place. So this is entirely possible that she has experienced both these moments of his death, although 4 years apart, at the same moment in her mind, while just a second ago experiencing a moment in the alternate reality in the exact same actual time that it is in the present reality. My god, this is complicated. My brain hurts. But I hope I am making sense. You guys following me so far? Anyway, that's what I believe the imagery definitely appears to be suggesting.
You're familiar with the pliability of space-time, yes?
Of course, who isn't?
Of course, we see Kruger. He mentions Armin and Mikasa. He says, if you want to save Armin and Mikasa, then you have to fulfill your mission. It's basically the same thing that Grisha told Eren when he injected Eren with the serum. So I'm not quite sure whether this is supposed to be Eren's memory or Grisha's memory. So Eren goes back and changes the past in order to do this because he believes that any other possibility would result in Paradis being destroyed. However, I do not believe that Eren knows or has seen every single possible outcome. I think that his assumption that this was the only way to do this misled him into believing that this was what must be done. I went back to take a look at these flashbacks, and what we see are, well, we see Aaron's mom get eaten, so he saw that happen in the future. And we just see a bunch of flashes of titans and blood and scared faces. And what we also see is this little clip of this melted toy soldier next to a fireplace, and some toys next to a window on a bed. So I wonder who these toys belong to. Whether this is inside the walls or whether this is out in the Marleyan world that he's seeing. And then we have this weird clip of a wasp in somebody's eye. It's very Aeon Flux-ish. And then he sees his mom getting eaten, and it's all blurry. And then he wakes up. So this has already happened. And now, finally, we're seeing this happen again. So it's not just something that was thrown in there to be artistic or whatever. It actually has significance. With the way memories and time works in this story, I wouldn't be surprised if future Aaron was able to send his younger self flashes of memories of things yet to come. Or maybe this is even unintentional, some kind of bleeding through from other universes. Perhaps this is even the moment that the base universe that we talked about before split off into the one we know now. The one where Grisha possibly did not give Aaron the serum or kill the Reese family, changed into the one where Aaron is about to destroy the world. And, in the version of the manga, I think most people believe that what we see is an older version of Mikasa. She's got the hair and the scarf, and I think that this is still important, even though it's different, because I think that even though they changed it for the anime, I think that it's meant to convey the same thing. It's meant to show a glimpse into the future. But I think we might actually see, if this is a glimpse into the future, I wonder if this is something we are going to see, like, by the end of the manga. It didn't say who they were, and it's a pretty rough sketch, so it's hard to tell. I know a lot of people think that it's Aaron holding his child, or maybe some unrelated Eldian characters. My first instinct when I saw this, and I'm surprised I haven't seen more people think this as well, is that this is Grisha holding a baby Aaron. The reason is because, well, it looks like them. I mean, it's hard to tell because it's just a sketch, but based on Grisha's hairstyle and the hairstyle of the man in the image, it looks very similar. And the baby, well, I mean, it's hard to tell because it's a baby, but it does look very much like baby Aaron, which is an image we've seen emerge all throughout the story during various parts of the story. And I think it's a way of reminding us of Aaron's humanity. So yeah, I'm convinced that this is Grisha holding Aaron, telling Aaron that he's finally free. Why and how that could be, I'm honestly not quite sure. I haven't thought this theory all the way through, but basically, with the Attack Titan's ability to time travel now, we don't know what is possible. If Aaron found a way to manipulate time in this way, then I think it's within the realm of possibility that Grisha could do the same. Aaron must have learned how to do this through the memories of his predecessors, something that he ended up being able to access for whatever reason. So, but assuming one only needs to possess the Attack Titan to use this time manipulation ability, how and when would Aaron have found out that he had this ability? Aaron and Grisha, while heavily influenced by the world around them, had also done their share of influencing the world itself. The line between being a victim of circumstance and being responsible for your own actions can be blurred at times. While they were both pushed and coerced in some instances, in inescapable ways, the fact of the matter is that both of them made choices that if they hadn't made, things would have turned out very differently. In the end, there is really no one person that can be blamed for what is happening right now in the story. Except perhaps for Aaron, as he is kind of the one who pulled the proverbial trigger. And even that's kind of up for question. However, I would say that the fact Aaron was capable of murdering 2 full-grown men as a child is definite foreshadowing to what has now come to pass. Eren was always capable of taking lives if he felt they had to be extinguished in order to save others. I'm starting to feel like Kruger and Eren have more in common than just their first names. I'm really starting to think that Eren and Kruger have a far deeper connection than what we've been led to believe. Perhaps they're even the same person. Dun dun dun. Thinking about it right now, I honestly think that could be a real possibility. How is complicated to answer, but I think it would have to do with the holder of the Titan's influence over each other. I think that Eren and Kruger already have a lot in common, and it's possible that they may have been influencing each other at different times. Kruger from the past and Eren from the future. In a way, melding their consciousness together to some degree as they fight on for the same goal. Okay, so anyway, say we have this base universe where Grisha did not decide to give Eren the Titans. What was the outcome of that universe? Why would Eren choose to change that? How would Eren even be able to come into this universe and travel through time if he didn't originally have the Attack Titan in this base universe? We know that Eren witnessed these memories as if he were his father, it seems. However, with this new reveal that Eren can essentially travel through time, it potentially gives this panel a whole other meaning. Remember the one with Eren sitting in place of Kruger as he's talking to Grisha, as he's experiencing these memories? Initially, it seems to be suggesting that Eren is reliving his father's memories so vividly that it feels like he's actually there. But if that were the case, does that mean that these are actually Kruger's memories he's experiencing? Or what if Eren is not simply experiencing these memories? What if he is influencing them as well? Does that even make any sense? We've seen that Eren can influence his father from the future while presenting in the past as some kind of ghost or vision that apparently only Grisha can see. What if this is a false memory and Kruger was saying something very different? The idea that Eren might be influencing Kruger one way or another from the future is also compounded by the fact that he ends the conversation with a plea to save Armin and Mikasa. I don't know if Eren, if he is behind that, did it on purpose or on accident, but I just wonder if Grisha remembered this years later when his young son made two friends who were coincidentally named Armin and Mikasa, those same two names that Kruger uttered years before. This would also explain why Grisha said this to Eren when he injected him with this serum and turned him into a Titan. With this new information, if adult Eren was influencing Grisha at this point in the timeline, then Grisha would be fully aware of Eren's influence on him at this point. It's possible that Grisha is giving young Eren the Attack Titan at the behest of his older version. If Kruger's quest was to be carried out, it wasn't going to be done by Grisha. Eren, realizing this from the future I suspect, and believing that any other path would end up in Paradis's destruction, went back in time in order to make sure Grisha did his part and passed on this quest to someone who was actually up for the job, himself, Eren Yeager. She leans over to kiss a slumped over, mostly human-looking Eren, and says goodbye, only to open her eyes and realize she's holding the severed head of a grotesque monster. Ew. Seriously, did she realize she was kissing his severed head? Because that's very, very disturbing. Anyway, on that lovely note, we are going to be continued. Gosh, this seems so short. I'm used to talking and talking and talking in videos that are ridiculously long, but like I said, I want to get these out quickly. I feel like it would be better to get these out in sections rather than just throwing one big long video at you like at the last minute. That doesn't really work out well. I should have learned that lesson a long time ago. But anyway, make sure you come back next week for the next video. We're going to be talking about Mikasa. It's going to be a whole video about Mikasa, so you're not going to want to miss that. I haven't talked about Mikasa a whole lot on this channel, so this is going to be fun. I'll be posting that video probably on Tuesday, about 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so if that pesky notification bell don't work, you know when to look for it. And I will let you know in the community tab if that changes at all, so keep an eye on that. Before I go, I'm going to go ahead and plug my gaming channel again. It's just a little something I'm trying out. If that's something you're interested in, go ahead and head on over there and subscribe. I'll put a link in the description. I've been posting videos there every other Monday, and yeah, that's about it. So hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. Make sure you like and stuff, leave a comment. Curious to see what you guys have to say about it. So please let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Peace. Let's get on the roof. Hi guys. Ah! 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 Move! 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 Ah! Holy crap. You can go bye-bye now. Do you have anything? Yes you do. There we go. Got all your stuff. Now I'm gonna go ahead and kill you. You having a problem there, buddy? Yes, you are, because you're dead. Ew, covered in chitin red. Ugh, feels gross. I thought I turned the gore off. Oh well. Oh, I remember this. You gotta shoot the colossal titan in the face with a cannon, because that happened. What? Why did I do that? Can I? What am I? Okay. Yeah. What? What am I supposed to do? How do I get on the cannon? RB to switch to combat mode to fire and anchor? Oh. Just to show me that I can't do that. Okay, that's nice. Oh, let's go taste the mountain cannon. Oh, he won't like that. I'll blast you in the face with a cannonball. Okay, here we go. Your face is stupid. Fire. 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 Wow, this is exhilarating. Okay, your arm needs to die. Bye, arm. I don't see the point in using cannons. I want to fly through the air and kill titans, not fire their faces with cannons or whatever. You're dumb. You're so dumb, colossal titan. I kill your face. I shoot your big dumb face, and you're dead. So cannon. Bye.